because of the growing impatience with the slow advance of liberal policy, the just irritation with those who use liberal phraseology in defense of antisocial privileges, and the boundless ambition seemingly justified by the material improvements already achieved, it came to pass that toward the turn of the century the belief in the basic tenets of liberalism was more and more relinquished. What had been achieved came to be regarded as a secure and imperishable possession, acquired once and for all. The eyes of the people became fixed on the new demands, the rapid satisfaction of which seemed to be barred by the adherence to the old principles. It became more and more widely accepted that further advance could be expected not along the old lines within the general framework which had made past progress possible, but only by a complete remodeling of society. It was no longer a question of adding to or improving the existing machinery, but of completely scrapping and replacing it. And, as the hope of the new generation came to be centered on something completely new, interest in and understanding of the functioning of the existing society rapidly declined, and with the decline of the understanding of the way in which the free system worked, our awareness of what depended on its existence also decreased. This is not the place to discuss how this change in outlook was fostered by the uncritical transfer to the problems of society of habits of thought engendered by the preoccupation with technological problems, the habits of thought of the natural scientist and the engineer, and how these at the same time tended to discredit the results of the past study of society which did not conform to their prejudices and to impose ideals of organization on a sphere to which they are not appropriate. 11. All we are here concerned to show is how completely, though gradually and by almost imperceptible steps, our attitude towards society has changed. What at every stage of this process of change had appeared a difference of degree only has in its cumulative effect already brought about a fundamental difference between the older liberal attitude towards society and the present approach to social problems. The change amounts to a complete reversal of the trend we have sketched, an entire abandonment of the individualist tradition which has created Western civilization. According to the views now dominant, the question is no longer how we can make the best use of the spontaneous forces found in a free society. We have in effect undertaken to dispense with the forces which produced unforeseen results, and to replace the impersonal and anonymous mechanism of the market by collective and conscious direction of all social forces to deliberately chosen goals. The difference cannot be better illustrated than by the extreme position taken in a widely acclaimed book on whose program of so-called planning for freedom we shall have to comment yet more than once. We have never had to set up and direct, writes Dr. Karl Mannheim, the entire system of nature as we are forced to do today with society. Mankind is tending more and more to regulate the whole of its social life, although it has never attempted to create a second nature. 12. It is significant that this change in the trend of ideas has coincided with a reversal of the direction in which ideas have traveled in space. For over 200 years English ideas had been spreading eastward. The rule of freedom which had been achieved in England seemed destined to spread throughout the world. By about 1870 the reign of these ideas had probably reached its easternmost expansion. From then onward it began to retreat, and a different set of ideas, not really new but very old, began to advance from the east. England lost her intellectual leadership in the political and social sphere and became an importer of ideas. For the next 60 years Germany became the center from which the ideas destined to govern the world in the 20th century spread east and west. Whether it was Hegel or Marx, Liszt or Schmaler, Sombart or Mannheim, whether it was socialism in its more radical form or merely organization or planning of a less radical kind, German ideas were everywhere readily imported and German institutions imitated.